What is up, group? I have to even check the app. It is 17 days, 22 hours, 11 minutes, which means it's like the middle of the night right now. I really need to figure out my sleep schedule, but that's for another day. So there were a couple things I wanted to talk about today. So on my last video, I got a comment from this person, Jordan, who has made it 14 days into their quit. And I just asked how they were feeling. And Jordan said, really good. The cravings are mostly gone by now. One thing I have noticed about nicotine cravings, and I'm sure this extends to any addiction, is that when you're in the middle of one, it feels like you have always been craving a cigarette and will never not crave a cigarette. Keeping a rational perspective is important. I think the hardest part for me is dealing with the diminishing psychological returns. On day 5, for instance, you remember day 1 and think, shit, I feel so much better, I'm breaking free. And you get to feel good about yourself. Once you get a little further down track, the mental rewards become less and less. Day 14 doesn't feel a whole lot different from day 12. So I suppose it becomes less about being driven and more about being committed. And I think that is just like an awesome thing for any of us that are quitting to remember. I feel like it is a gradual process, and some people's cravings go longer than other people's. And I even warned Jordan, these cravings will jump back. You will get them again. Even if you feel like you're out of the woods. That's why we want to prepare ourselves as people that are quitting, so we know how to deal with this stuff, even when it comes at the most random times or the most inopportune times, that we have the skill set in ourselves to be able to beat cravings. But the fact of the matter is, if we can keep our perspective, I think you'll see that graduation or that gradual change in yourself. So, for instance, like, he says, day 14 doesn't feel a whole lot different than day 12. But for someone like me, if I look at day 18 and I think back to day 10, there is definitely a significant difference. And if I look back even further, if I look back at day 1, then, that's just, on day 1, you don't know if you're even going to make it through that day, And here you are, wherever you're at in the process. So I feel like it's important, especially for those of like you that are like posting your journeys online and stuff. Remember, when you feel like you're not making any progress, you have this awesome thing where you can legitimately go back to your day 1 and relive it in the video and see, wow, like, maybe this still sucks. Maybe I'm still experiencing some bad kind of withdrawal stuff, but this is not day 1. Day 1 is hell compared to this. This is easy. I can handle this. So in the past couple months, I have jumped into a couple of quits. And I wasn't ready. I didn't even make it a day. Anytime. I think I did 3 or 4 times in the last like 2 or 3 months. And I couldn't make it 12 hours. I couldn't make it 14 hours. And I was asleep for most of that time. Really kind of sad. But the night before one of those quits, I recorded something. And I just want to share it with you.
In all my life, I've had this habit of putting things off. Like homework, whatever, like anything. And you put things off in hopes that future you will pick it up. When the deadline comes, future you will handle it. And the same is true when it comes to quitting smoking. I guess I've always believed that I'm not going to be a lifelong smoker. That future me will handle it. That future me will quit. And even when I set quit dates and I try to quit, I cave and I start again and I say, future me will take care of that. At some point, it's important to remember that today is the future you that you put in charge of taking care of things. You're expecting yourself to be stronger in the future, more ready. You now is that future you. At some point, you now has to take care of business.
So I think that is like a really awesome realization. I know my whole life, or I know that in my life as a smoker, I never intended to do it the rest of my life. But there had to be a me. It was never going to be anyone else. There had to be a me that was going to jump in and was going to take care of that. And now, sitting here on day 18, I get to still look after future me. I get to take care of future me by handling my commitment to never taking another puff. But past me, just 18 days ago, put me in a spot to succeed. Took responsibility to give me an easier today, a healthier today. And it's my responsibility now to carry that forward. And I hope that if you're already quitting, that you can look back at that past you that took that bravery to get you started on the path you're on and take advantage of it, that you have an easier day today than you had yesterday, or maybe it's a more challenging day, but you're further along. You just are. You're further away from that last cigarette. And that's like priceless. So don't give that up. And if you are considering quitting smoking, I hope that you will take responsibility for your future self, you know? They're still you. Give them a leg up. Treat them right. And the last thing that I just wanted to end on, I mentioned yesterday that another person in my building was considering quitting. Well, I just texted her today, and I asked her if she's still thinking about it, and she said she's not considering it. She's absolutely going to do it. She's dragging it out. She's reading the book. She says she feels like she might be dragging it out a little bit, but she is going to do it, and she's just considering when, in basically like the next 2 weeks, she's going to try. But one of the things that she said to me in a text that I found kind of funny, but again, important. So she said, and you have to keep in context here, our whole like apartment building is like quitting smoking. It's kind of awesome. We're not all keeping in touch and talking about it. I mean, I've talked with people on the internet, people like Angela, more than I've talked to these people in my building about quitting smoking, which is interesting how the internet is so awesome. It can kind of bring us together. But in any case, she said, so basically I was just saying I'll stop preaching about the quitting smoking, just wanted to check on it. And that's all it's a big part of what I've been thinking about for the past couple weeks. And she responded, of course it has. And I think out of all you guys that quit, you were the most attached to or dependent on it. Honestly, you quitting was what really kind of made me realize I could too. So the fact of the matter is, I was a terrible smoker. And I'm one of those people where I can say, if I can do this, you can do it. Absolutely. Like, it's just the truth. I depended on cigarettes so much, and people will say that it's so difficult and impossible to quit smoking. It's really not. It's totally not. I'm here, I'm doing it, and I believe in all of you. Literally, if I can do it, literally anybody else can. It just comes down to preparation, to understanding, to making sure that you are truly committed and ready. So anyway, I hope you have had an awesome day. I hope tomorrow's an even more awesome day. If you're considering quitting, please do it. If you are quitting along with me, let me know how you're doing. I'm excited to hear from you. It helps me. We can help each other. So yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next time. Peace out, homies.